just want to make sure everything's all set up here. Gotta make sure that I'm all good. Wow. Gotta make sure that I'm all good. Wow. Holy shit. Well, WrestleMania was a success over the weekend. If you guys haven't seen everything, of course, within this, if you missed the watch-along, you can go check it out. You can go back and watch it. 4-hour stream on both nights. Both exciting. I couldn't have done it without Lewis. Also, he did the review for me. I'm sorry about the audio. Again, I was at work. I had to, when I came back for lunch to help him set up, I forgot about the audio. So please apologize. I'm sincerely sorry about that. But you guys didn't come here, click on this live stream, sit and wait for me to talk about what happened at WrestleMania. No, you clicked this video or this live stream to see me talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw. So, without further ado, let me hit the intro, of course, real quick. Welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I am your host, Carlito Santiago. And today is a special day. Not only is it Earth Day, but it's also a day where we get to sit back, listen to what happened, rejoice in the fact that our new WWE champion, John Cena. We were pumped. We were hyped. WWE didn't show, of course, our reactions to Cena winning. We were hugging it out. We were so glad Cena won. A lot of people will talk on the internet about that. But since I'm here on the internet to talk about it, I'm here to give you my thoughts and my takes on what happened on Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania. So, the landscape of WWE looks very different following the events of the weekend. Several title changes, including the WWE and the World Heavyweight. Cena and Jey Uso are now the top dogs in the men's division, while Io Sky and Tiffany managed to hang on to their belts at Mania. We also saw Paul Heyman betray Roman Reigns and CM Punk to help Rollins claim victory in a move that was equal parts shocking and predictable. Love that word. No. Our 17-time champ is here. Raw opened up with a video package of recapping everything that happened down at WrestleMania. So again, if you need to catch Raw, please head over to Netflix and check it out. They recapped everything that happened at Mania before Cena came to the ring with the title on backwards, showing, of course, that he is not the same Cena. You are going to see me, not just the title. See, now, Cena gave the ring announcer a note with a new introduction for him that was more to his liking. He said the crowd is not worthy because they booed him on Friday. So he is not going to just forgive them for cheering him when he has gold. The crowd actually chanted, "We are sorry," and Cena called the crowd sorry lowlifes. This is the human being aspect of him. He said the crowd means nothing to him, so it changed to asshole at him. So it went from "we are sorry" to asshole. He's not buying it. He's not buying it. He's not buying this whole thing. He's a human being, guys. As Cena was preparing to finish up his speech, a Viper struck, appeared behind him, and hit an RKO out of nowhere, much to the crowd's delight. As we solidified now, Randy Orton will be John Cena's first opponent, kind of like how Randy Orton was Gunther's first opponent. It feels good for Randy to be Cena's opponent first because of their old history and their rivalry. This was a solid promo, and it was exactly what Cena needed to do after winning the title. He solidified his position as a heel and set up his next feud in the process. Orton is a logical challenger due to their long history as rivals. So this should be fun, especially since we're going to have it in St. Louis. So, as you know, of the factors, of course, to this, you have, or the advantages, I should say, not the factors, but the advantages, of course. John Cena now has the title advantage. He's the champion's advantage. That doesn't go unsaid, as Randy Orton has now the home field advantage, for he is going to, the match is going to be probably at Backlash in Missouri, St. Louis to be exact. So Randy has the home field advantage. Let's hope we can go at least a few weeks without having to hear Travis Scott's song now that Mania is over. Please. Cena calling himself an anus is going to be a meme before the show is over. That was a bit fun. I'm not gonna lie. This is definitely deserving a B+. This was all it needed to be, as Cena, of course, needed to set up for a match at Backlash. We needed to see something here. We're going to see it with Randy Orton. It's going to be nice. But now we're going to move on to something that I find fucking ridiculous. Liv Morgan and Raquel defended their tag team titles against Lyra Valkyria and a partner of her choosing at WrestleMania because Bayley, unfortunately, was attacked and taken out, which was pre-planned by WWE. So, they gave us the big shock and awakening, of course, of the return of Becky Lynch, who said she wouldn't. We don't know, possibly. I don't know if I'm going to return or not, but hey, I'm here. Well, she's here, all right, and they were here on Monday night, and they defended the women's tag team titles because they won them at Mania, just to fucking lose them. Some people, like myself, are scratching my head wondering what kind of fucking decision that was. Well, it only furthered to benefit fucking the heels, of course, Raquel and Liv, as they had a chance to win back the tag team titles they lost on Sunday when they faced Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch in a rematch. Now, don't forget, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley were in the crowd to see who would face for the titles on Tuesday, and well, what did we do here? Becky and Liv began the action for their teams, but it didn't take long before Lyra tagged in and took over. They had the upper hand as the show cut to break. We returned to see Rodriguez dominating Valkyria, but the women's IC champion wasn't going to back down, so they had to rally. She made a hot tag to the man as they began to build some momentum. The intensity picked up in the second half, and they did a good job making this feel completely different from their match at Mania. Morgan ended up hitting her finisher on Lyra after Becky was taken out at ringside because she went for a dive or caught. Oh no. Sorry, Lyra knocked Raquel off the apron, fell right into Becky for Liv to hit her finisher and regain the tag team titles. Now, a one-day reign is not ideal. Never ideal. But the end of this told us why it was booked that way, with Lynch attacking Lyra and blamed her for the loss before storming off, so it looks like Becky will be chasing the Women's IC Championship. So, why the fuck did we take let me guess. Because Bayley's so respected backstage, they didn't want Bayley to turn fucking heel. Are you... Ooh, that makes me mad. Just because you didn't want to go with something originally, you decided to take an easy way out of it by having a special return, just to have a one-day reign, just to fuck this all up, instead of having Liv and Raquel retain, maybe winning at WrestleMania through a cheat tactic, and then having a rematch on Raw, and then getting this. Right? No. Instead, we had Becky do what Bayley should have done. The grade is not going to be what it is right here. It's not a B to me. It is a fucking C+. It is a C+. Let's not take away from the match. I didn't give a fuck about it, and I didn't watch it. But for this to be the case, for this to happen, you have them win at WrestleMania, just for them to drop the titles on Raw, just to set up Becky Lynch to attack Lyra Valkyria, even though there was tensions already built for Bayley to turn her back on Lyra, but because Bayley is respected backstage, too goddamn respected actually, we decided to take her out and have Becky do Bayley's dirty work? Go fuck yourselves. So yeah, of course Becky's gonna chase after the women's IC title. Of course it's gonna be a good feud. Don't be mistaken. That will be a good feud. But the way we got to it is fucking idiotic. Also, the ring announcer seemed to have some issues with their match because he had to do the intro for Morgan Raquel 3 times. Just noteworthy. It's a new day and a Rusev day. I'm going to tell you why. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods came out to celebrate winning their tag team titles at WrestleMania from Eric and Ivar. But this brought out our TikTokers. Maxine Dupree, Otis, and Akira Tozawa came out to interrupt after a couple of minutes. They were about to have a match for the tag team titles after some back and forth trash talk. But as their match got along, Rusev made a surprising return to the WWE. And may I add, too, to this. I watched the opening segment live, Randy and Cena. Then I shut it off because I wanted to save the moment for me. I didn't want to look up the internet and say, oh, this person fucking saw, or this person came back. Oh my God, this person came back. I wanted to get my own reaction for the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. So I didn't have anybody spoil the damn thing for me. So that's what I did. I waited until everything was all said and done. I didn't go on my phone and social media. I went on fucking Netflix and I watched the show then. And boy, was I happy about that. The New Day bailed while Tozawa and Otis were left to take the beating from the Bulgarian Brute, the crowd chanting Rusev Day as he made Otis pass out to the Accolade. This was a weird way to bring Rusev back, though, while teasing a tag team title bout, but the crowd loved it and he looked like a beast, so it accomplished its goal. B-, because, of course, why not? Rusev had some new music. It wasn't quite as memorable as his old song, but it wasn't bad. Plus, if you didn't notice too, Karrion Kross giving a nod of approval to, of course, the New Day after turning them heel, and now them capturing some gold. Obviously, Karrion Kross's first successful project. If you couldn't tell from that. Io Sky took on one of my favorite booty calls. Stephanie Vanquier, or Vaquier, or whatever her last name is called. Actually, you know what? We're going to do it here on stream. We are going to find out what it's called. Vacker, if you didn't hear that. Io Sky came out and celebrated her big win at Mania. She said it was the best night of her career because she proved she's the best. And that she's not a third wheel. Especially Io is going to, Vakir said she respects Io because she came out. She made a surprising appearance. Big smile on Io's face. She respects Io, but she wants to face the best. If you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best. And you want to be the man, you gotta beat the man. But she wants to face the best, and that means she wants to face Io. So Adam Pearce came out to make sure that that's what the people wanted, because everybody started booing him right off the bat. Whoa. Before you can come out making all these things official, I just want to know from the crowd. You guys want this match? Well, guess what? It's official. Because that's his tagline. That's his catchphrase. It's official. They started with some simple takedowns and counters as they tried to gain control, but neither woman seemed to be in a rush to incorporate strikes until Io hit a drop kick to send the NXT champion out of the ring for a suicide dive. The second half was much more physical and saw both women pull out some big moves. Of course, one of her favorite little moves, I forget what the hell, Love Hurts? Is that what it's called? I don't know. All I know is I saw a lot of booty. The crowd was into everything and gave both superstars a lot of love. This was a great match that showed how two talented wrestlers who haven't worked together much can put on a great impromptu performance. Sadly, and yes, this is really sadly, as I was actually invested into this match. So invested that when Roxanne came in, I was depressed by the end of it. Because sadly, she caused a fucking DQ. Now, Julia also showed up and attacked Vakir after Perez took out Sky. Rhea Ripley came running down to take out Perez before having a standoff with Julia that ended with the NXT star backing down. And of course, Mommy talking to Io saying, I got your back, but just so you're aware, I'm coming after that. I'm coming for that. Just so you know. I thought this was good. I loved the match. Even though it ended in no contest, I'm going to be honest with you. You know how I hate disqualifications because usually they're not done properly. In this case, I even thought about it because WWE likes to do this. When you have two people who really shouldn't be losing, right, and they put themselves up against each other, you know that there's going to be a counter to DQ. I was just waiting for it. I felt depressed after the end because there was no need for a DQ. Let me rephrase. There was no need for Roxanne to really come out. There was no need for Roxanne to be here, other than maybe watch Vic here fuck it all up. Or slap, or have Roxanne try to, slap her, but, I don't know what I'm saying. All I know is that, I knew that this was going to be ending in DQ, so I was just waiting for it. But, I don't know. I really want to say, there's no need for the DQ, but there is a need for the DQ. You have two people who really shouldn't be losing. So, well done, WWE. You got me. Well done. WWE used the DQ properly this time. No contest, I think it's a B+. Overall, it's great. Sky's little thank you after the crowd chanted that she deserved a win was funny. The dragon screw Vakira used in the corner looked brutal, so that was good. And we can move on, because next up, Jey Uso came out to a very good crowd that yeeted all over this place, all over Vegas, baby. Because Jey Uso is your champion, mind you. Jey Uso came out to a righteous response after WWE aired a video package hyping up his win at WrestleMania. Uso had the truck play his music again when he was in the ring, just so he could yeet with the crowd one more time. After Uso spoke a little while about winning the title what it means to him, Sami Zayn joined him in the ring and gave him a hug. Zayn said Uso deserves to be champion after everything he has done, and the crowd agreed. Jimmy came out to join the celebration at the end. It was almost surprising that this ended without anyone else interrupting or trying to claim the first title shot against Jey. But that was the best way to do it. This moment deserved to stand on its own. And no grade. I thought this was good, but I want to mention something about this. If you did not watch it, go back on Netflix. Go to the moment. I want you to watch Sami Zayn. Now, I'm not saying, watch Sami Zayn hop off the top rope. Hop off the second rope. With Jey. Hop on the top rope. I want you to see him, or the second rope. I want you to see him hop off the second rope and stare and be right behind Jey as he's celebrating, and watch Sami Zayn's facial expression. Watch Sami Zayn look at Uso. The smug little look on his fucking face, even though he's trying to play it off as he's happy. I want you to look at what Sami Zayn's doing. He's scoping out our champion. Sami Zayn may just be turning heel. Which is kind of weird because he hasn't been heel since 2024? Wait, hold on. He hasn't been heel since 2023. My mistake. He hasn't been heel since 2023. So, 2 years. But this is a good way for him to start getting into that. Sami facing Jey would be nice. But we could only assume that Sami might just be the man to win a world championship. Because you think about it, the title win from Rhodes, Rhodes wins the title, and you see that Sami and Jey hold him up. Now we have Jey, who's now the champion, and Cody's not. And then the last person will be Sami Zayn who wins it. It's crazy to think that, too. Someone in the crowd said Hogan fears unions. And I laughed. I chuckled. I still laugh at that. No, I thought this was great for Jey. I don't know who's going to be there next. I don't know who's going to be next in line for Jey's title. Probably McIntyre, but they're probably going to do McIntyre and Priest, continuing that. They might set up somebody for Jey instead. But to move on, when we came back from a break, we see Gunther yelling at Michael Cole, or just yelling at the commentary team. Michael Cole states that, well, I'm not the one who tapped out. And Gunther said, oh, yeah? He fucking knocks off his headphones and starts to berate him until he shoves McAfee. He then grabs Cole in a chokehold for McAfee to only hit him with a forearm and push him off. As a bunch of officials were backed off, as McAfee turned around, Gunther grabbed McAfee and choked him out. Completely, choked him out. The general was escorted away eventually. McAfee was taken to the back to recover as the show went on after another break. Now, Cole went to the announce table desk with Joe Tessitore to film in for the main event. Now, Michael Cole said, I'm not going to be bullied. I'm going to do my job. No one's going to bully me into not being able to do my job. And I like that, Michael Cole. I like that, Michael Cole. And I love this because this sets up Gunther. This sets up something for Gunther to do. Like, Gunther to face one of the commentary teams. You know, and I love that McAfee stood up and fucking, said, hey, this is my... It reminds me of when fucking Michael Cole was getting taken out by, I forget who the fuck it was. And Jerry the King Lawler stepped in, to help him. I thought it was good. And I love that they're doing work with the commentary team. It's great. Next up, Dominic Mysterio defends his newly won Intercontinental Championship against Penta. In the final match of the night, Finn Balor and Carlito accompanied Dirty Dom to the ring. We went to a break with Penta being sent out of the ring. It looked like Balor might attack him until the referee spotted him and he had to back off. Penta hit a Hurricanrana to Balor that sent him into Dom at ringside. But as Penta was about to hit a big move from the top rope, JD McDonough appeared and knocked him off. This allowed Dom to hit a frog splash for the victory. All things considered, this match was about as down the middle as it gets. Nothing that they did looked bad, but the ending was only notable thing about that because JD came back and he's now back for the Judgment Day. His neck is all clear, and I'm glad that JD is back. We haven't seen him in a very long time. So this was great at AC, and rightfully so. Karrion Kross and AJ had a confrontation backstage. It looks like they finally have a match soon. Coming. Another one coming. Karrion Kross is a bit mad. He's a bit fucking angry. And boy, oh boy, I do not blame him. But all things said, we have to get to our little final segment that I fell in love with it. I'm all head over heels for. The final segment featured Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman coming to the ring to discuss what happened at WrestleMania. Before Rollins could say much, Punk hits the ring and looks for a fight. Punk beats down Rollins in the corner and then turns his attention to Heyman. The Visionary, of course, took him out. As, of course, Punk grabbed Heyman and threw him in the corner, only for Rollins to attack him from behind, take him out with a stomp. Okay? Heyman said Rollins is now the new number one top guy in the industry. Of course, this was before, this was after taking out Punk, and the credits were about to roll. But we weren't done yet. Because Roman Reigns' music hit. He came out looking as angry as Punk was. The OTC nailed Rollins with a spear, and of course, took out the wise man with a Superman punch. And as he was about to line him up for a fucking hellacious spear, and I was so hyped about this. I was so hyped. Roman Reigns gonna fucking spear Paul Heyman. I was jumping out of my seat. Roman Reigns ended up getting speared by Braun fucking Breaker out of nowhere. Breaker hit Punk with one when he tried to get into the ring too. Rollins hugged Breaker to reveal what appears to be the new partnership, and of course the new Paul Heyman guy. The former IC champion ran around the ring to hit Roman with another spear and put him through the barricade. And of course, Rollins told Breaker to bring him into the ring, which he did, and I think Rollins gave him one more stomp. Or Rollins gave Punk a stomp, and then gave Roman a stomp. And the Raw after WrestleMania ended with Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins standing tall over Punk and Roman Reigns. We could be looking at a major tag team match between the two. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This could literally be WWE doing their own little superhero thing here. The supervillains, you know? I don't know what Braun Breaker would like, but with DC, like it'd be DC characters. Like Roman would be like Superman, and fucking Punk is Batman. Rollins is like the Joker or some shit. But the Raw after WrestleMania had a lot of recapping, which is always expected after the big pay-per-view of the year, but it felt a little too light on the in-ring action. Now, overall grade for Rollins, the segment with them, I'm going to give that a fucking A+, because they did a great job here. But that does not make up for this. The best match of the night has to go to Vakir and Sky, but it ended in controversy, so we will have to wait for them to run it back at some point in the future to find a definitive winner. But the women's tag team titles changed hands, with Becky Lynch's subsequent heel turn felt rushed. But it also felt it will be better for everyone long term because it sets up an interesting feud for the IC Championship. Sure, but it should have been Bayley who should have done it. She should have been like, yo, I'm going to do this. Or they should have made her do it. And if they didn't make her do it, and this is something that she didn't want to do. She didn't want to turn heel. Well, I don't know. I just feel like Bayley would have been better because they've already because why did we go through, why did we have that one-on-one championship match and that subtle tease of Bayley being a heel and them winning the tag team title opportunity in a gauntlet match on SmackDown? Why did we go through all of that if we were never going to get it? Rusev's return felt somewhat random, but having him back in the fold is going to be an interesting move moving forward. This is a very different WWE than the company he left, so he will have to adapt. But as a whole, this was your pretty standard episode of Monday Night Raw. We could have used a little more action, but the show set up a couple of interesting storylines heading into Backlash in about 3 weeks. The final segment was great, so it helped end the show on a high note. This overall grade is a B, and I agree. This show is really, really fucking beautiful. It's great, and I expect more of it. I expect more of this, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen afterwards. But, yeah. We'll be back again. We're running this shit continuously. Of course, we will be back on Saturday for the SmackDown summary for what happened on SmackDown. Yeah, we're back in the fold, and we're gearing up for Backlash, what could be a really good Backlash. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys on Saturday. If you guys had missed our watch-along of WrestleMania, the predictions, and of course the review of it. Again, sorry for the audio on the review. But again, if you missed it, it's all in the link in the description below. Please hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, and turn on those post notifications so you'll never miss a stream. I'll see you guys on Saturday.